Good evening and welcome to day 20 of this evening ceremony. Ah, I'm in the tipi tonight, uh, holding the space for the Wild Woman retreat and the sit out. Mm, mm. It's been such a beautiful day, and it's always a gift to spend time in this tipi. It's such a magical space, our fire temple. Mm. In today's reading, we're stepping into the below, the source of life and Mother Earth. And I can't see anything being more appropriate uh, while holding a Wild Woman retreat and having a sit out, rejuvenating our relationship to the earth and ourselves. Let's take a common deep breath to land in our bodies, to take our place in this circle. Mm. Hey. Mm. And let's dive in. Below, the source of life, Mother Earth. Mother Earth is the source of life, not a resource. Chief Arvo looking horse. The jungles and the forests are the lungs of Mother Earth. The wind is moved by the ocean gyres and is the breath of Grandmother Earth. The creeks, rivers, and oceans are the vascular system of Grandmother Earth. The water that runs through them is the blood of Grandmother Earth. And the land under our feet is the flesh of Grandmother Earth. In every way that matters, the earth has its own physiology. When we talk about the sacred direction of below, we're referring to the teachings and indigenous medicines of Grandmother Earth that make up the source of all life. Grandmother Earth weaves the story of life on Earth, and the Creator provides the thread. Grandmother Earth, our spiritual, non physical relationship, and our living physical relationship with Earth are associated with Grandmother Earth. So, in the Lakota way, when we refer to either our grandmother or our mother, there's an unsaid understanding that we're honoring our sacred relationship with the earth. Each of us is a unique child and a direct living descendant of Grandmother Earth. Each of us represents a living thread of humanity that's interwoven with the spiritual realm and the physical world of Grandmother Earth. All of us together, gathered under this understanding, make up this fabric of existence. We all share the same mother, we are all related, and we are all one nation. Elemental energy, feminine. Grandmother Earth represents the spiritual energy of the feminine, and she holds the sacred spaces for the things that make us human. She holds space for where we pray and offer gratitude to the Creator, as well as the land where we grow our food and harvest our medicines. It's the benevolent feminine energy that nurtures the returning ones in the wombs of women and hollows the ground where we bury our loved ones when they go back home. Grandmother Earth blesses the ground where we hold our ceremonies and where we name our children and make each other relatives. She holds the medicine of the feminine for us to literally live. The energy of the feminine is the spiritual womb that holds the life force of the earth and everything upon her. The power of the feminine is incalculable, and that's why the power structures of patriarchy have desperately done everything in their power to suppress the truth of the feminine for thousands of years. But the feminine is too powerful to be suppressed forever, and we're now moving into the human era of masculine energy giving, uh, the masculine energy giving away to the energy of the feminine. It's not a moment too soon. The future is feminine. We need to encourage and nurture the rise of the feminine power in gratitude for all the blessings the spiritual energy of the feminine has bestowed upon us. We do this by holding up our women, encouraging them to stand in their power, respecting their equal, if not higher reasons, reclaiming space for their energy and voice, and elevating them to the highest positions of power structures so they can rejuvenate our spiritually broken systems and processes. The salvation of humanity will be led by the power of the feminine. Weaving the words. The Philippines is a country that is made up of more than 7,000 islands and multiple indigenous cultures. The Filipinos are world-renowned master weavers, and their weaving invokes patterns and symbolism that presents their ancestors' folklore, nature-based spirituality, and various other aspects of their beautiful way of life. In the old days, in some villages, the girls went through traditional rites of passage through the art of weaving. From a young age, the girl would scrape, rinsed, and beat plant material into fine fiber, and she would sit with other women in the village as they worked with the minerals from the earth and the tannins from the bark to make the dye for the yarn, and watch and learn as the intricate looms were set up. Throughout her life, the girl would be sent from aunties to grandmas to other women wisdom keepers in the village to sit and talk and learn about the weaving, and these women would give great care and contemplation for when to share specific lessons and stories with the girl as she grew up. Through each stage of life, the girl would learn various ways of weaving fabric and other items, but one type of weaving would continue throughout her life: the art of weaving plant fiber into baskets. Basket weaving takes many years to master. It's said that when a girl becomes a young woman and she can weave plant fiber so fine that her baskets can hold water, it is then that she is ready to hold together a family. Mm. Indigenous virtues, generosity, and reciprocity. Generosity. The meaning of life is to discover our passions, and once they are discovered and developed, the purpose of life is to give our gift away. That comes to us naturally as our gift, a gift that we have probably practiced over many lifetimes. We give our gift away by integrating that gift with how we walk on this world and how we support ourselves, not just financially, but also by how we support our spirit and our walk on the red road. On the red road, when we give something away, we never feel that anything is owed back. Ownership of things is not a concept we understand. Even ownership of ideas and knowledge. In Western culture, when somebody has an idea, it belongs to that person. It's patented, copyrighted, it's theirs. But in indigenous cultures, we put our heads together and share ideas. And if someone takes an idea and runs with it, that's borrowing, not thievery, for there is no ownership of the idea. The thinking is that idea is not mine. I'm just the person it happened to come to. Someone else can borrow it, but they can't own it, and neither can I. This kind of generosity, which doesn't include a concept of ownership, could make the world a different place. But it does require self-care. Being generous is good, but being generous should not result in the suffering of our own health, happiness, or well-being. We must remember not to be martyrs. We must be generous with ourselves first, which starts with being generous with our spirits. Otherwise, it's only a matter of time before our spirit will rise up to express itself, and we may not be in a stage of life or have the ability to reconcile the needs of our spirit. That's when life can get rough. I think that's a beautiful place to land today, because now Eleanor is also joining me in the tipi. So we're gonna check in and check out from this day and check in for tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here with me. I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, and don't miss the extra live at 7 tomorrow, where I will share my story that I've written about in the next book being released in a week. I wish that the night and the dreamings will give you everything you need. So much love.